not to be the hall monitor, but we are over an hour behind schedule. So for those in the public or on this board who have flights later, just want to make sure I put that out there. Trustee Fagan, will you please move us on and convene the Committee on Collective Bargaining?
Thank you, Chairman Day. Committee on Collective Bargaining, please come to order. We now hear public comment from those who signed up to address agenda items coming before the committee today. There are a whole bunch of requests for public comment. I think I have 14. And each speaker will have 2 minutes to address the board. And as you heard the chair just mention, we're running behind, so please stay within that 2-minute limit. As your name is called, please come to the microphone. So let's start off with Drew Scott, Christopher Rooney, and Robert Olsen.
Hi, my name is Robert Olsen. I'm here with the CSU team for collective bargaining. I represent over 1,100 members of workers and Teamsters. Looking forward to our productive full contract bargaining for the CSU, representing electricians, plumbers, and all other tradesmen in the CSU system. There is significant issues that impact our members and our community that must be addressed at this time during the bargaining. The CSU is currently has a backlog for deferred maintenance and other issues that affect our students and the public and faculty, and at the same time inadequate compensation and understaffing of employment for the Unit 6 skilled trades workers. This bargaining will be about ensuring the safety, and the CSU provides campuses along with fair pay treatment for those who make this work possible. Thank you.
All right, my name is Christopher Rooney, and I will be brief. I'm a metal worker at Cal State University in Northridge. I've worked there for over 30 years, and I'm an elected member of our bargaining team for the Teamsters. I want to talk about deferred maintenance. Many maintenance projects throughout the CSU campuses have been repeatedly delayed, creating a substantial health and safety risk to the campus communities. There are buildings that need lead abatement, mold remediation, seismic retrofits, remodeling, just in general updating. On my campus, there was recently an asbestos found in our trades building, causing that building to be shut down for 2 months while they abated it. It displaced all our trades workers. We had to work for 2 months without buildings and possibly exposed us to asbestos contamination. This fiscal year, the CSU will receive $239 million from the state to address deferred maintenance issues, on top of the $35 million it got last year. This funding needs to be put towards ensuring that we tradesmen can continue to do our work to support the health and the safety of the campus community. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Drew Scott. I work at Fresno State. I'm a facility control specialist. I'm also the director for skilled trades at Teamsters 2010. What I'd like to talk about is compensation and salary steps. The sad reality is that our pay is not keeping up with the employees at other public sector employers that are doing comparable work. For example, there are UC skilled trades workers making up to $16 more per hour doing work comparable to ours. Our pay is being increasingly eroded by runaway growth in the cost of living in California. This discourages people from pursuing careers at CSU and pushes those in our unit further and further away from the communities where they work. And we can provide examples where some of our members drive multiple hours to work. On top of all this, we have gone more than 20 years without annual salary steps increases, without the recognition for years of loyal service to CSU and the public. We have far too many members with 10 years plus of service still stuck below the median of their salary ranges. This further discourages pursuing a career at CSU and contributes to understaffing It's time for the CSU to compensate us fairly so we can provide for our families, support our communities, and ensure safe facilities for the CSU community. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Cal Mason, Raymond Montoya, and Matt Mason. And thank you for the first three speakers for staying under the 2-minute limit.
Good morning. My name is Cal Mason. I am a skilled trades worker, Unit 6 Teamster from SDSU. In the face of a growing deferred maintenance backlog, CSU has increasingly turned to contracting out and public-private partnerships, also known as triple Ps. So instead of addressing Unit 6 staffing issues and leaning on the strengths of the existing staff, our campuses would rather turn to outside contractors. Let's be real. These outside contractors have a bottom line and no problem bringing in non-union, low-paying workers, for the most part, who are not based in the CSU communities to perform what should be our work. The campus community is seen firsthand that the quality of work declines when contractors are brought in. There are many examples I can speak on, but I will touch on one project that took place at SDSU this past summer. A contractor was hired to install exhaust fans on a professional studies and fine arts building. This is a 4-story building with many classrooms and faculty offices. The work included some roof repairs. Less than 4 weeks into the project, the entire building had to be shut down, locked out, and evacuated because of excessive fumes and other unsafe conditions caused by the contractor. Frankly, this could have been avoided. I must say, had our Unit 6 trades performed any or all of that work, the CSU would have potentially saved thousands of dollars. As public employees, we are accountable to the public that we serve, unlike outside contractors who are loyal first to their shareholders and owners. Instead of entering into expensive agreements with outside contractors, the CSU should recommit to supporting good union jobs within our university and the communities where our campuses are based. Let us instead first look into trained and highly skilled staff at Unit 6 trades workers. We have the knowledge of our campuses and its intricacies. We're a close-knit team that relies on each other and works as a real team. Our workers have the desire to exceed standards because we care about the university and delivering a superior service. Our dedication is to our coworkers, the facilities and plants. Skilled trades workers are on campuses every day, not like contractors the CSU brings in. Thank you. Matt Mason was unable to attend along with Raymond Montoya. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next is Camila Rivera, Fernando Tortolito, and Alex Vermi.
Hi, I'm the only one from that group that was able to make it out today. My name is Alex Vermi. I'm the research analyst for Teamsters Local 2010. I wanted to second the points that Cal was just making there and emphasize that the CSU has a responsibility to the public and the communities that its campuses are located in to support good union jobs in Unit 6 that put money back into communities rather than into outside contractors' pockets. CSU should not be part of a race to the bottom that undermines CSU workers, their families, and the communities they live in. So our union, going into this bargaining, will work to protect Unit 6 work and good union jobs in California communities. Thank you.
Next is Jason Rabinowitz, Tessie Reese, and Rocky Sanchez.
I don't see Jason, so, okay. Tessie Reese, Unit 2 Chair, San Diego State, and one of your thousands of employees who dedicate work every day to your campuses. I won't need the 2 minutes, but just to end and to start and end, is next year is going to be an exciting new year for all of us because you're going to be bargaining with all of your labor at the same time. And I kind of find that difficult to comprehend because you have 3 to 4 people who are going to be at the table doing this with how many labor unions. So I'm still trying to put that together in my head. The gentleman who spoke about steps and market inequities and low wages and stagnant wages is for all of us, every single employee, including your presidents. Every employee who works for the CSU come, number one, not because of salary. It's because we love what we do and we believe in the mission of the CSU. But we have families that we need to support, just as you have families to support. So next year, and I'm going to say it again, I hope the legislators come out as they say that they might at bargaining, because we hope that we have a very open and honest dialogue with you. Whoever you send to the table, it's you. The trustees of the CSU. We bargain with whoever comes to the table, but we bargain with you. So please keep that in mind, and keep in mind, even though the step bill is still there, we hope that bargaining is honest, open, and you bring that to the table, because we will be bringing it to the table, every single one of us. Thank you.
Good morning, Chancellor White, trustees, campus presidents, brothers and sisters. I'm Rocky Sanchez, VP for Representation, CSUEU, and I hail from Cal Poly Pomona, a 25-plus year employee. And I'm here to speak in regards to that first of all, no one speaks for the CSUEU at bargaining except the bargaining team of CSUEU. So any kind of meetings that have been held with somebody else claiming to speak for CSUEU, do not. And any kind of meeting that is set up, we deem as illegal. Second of all, that I want to bring up, at the last Board of Trustees meeting, there was a trustee, and I know who you are, threatened us. We do not take these threats lightly. We expect to be treated with respect and transparency, not with threats. I look at threats as being someone who is coming from a weak stance. They think they can intimidate. You cannot. You think you can try to take our voice away? You cannot. You cannot do it for any of us, any employee, unless we give you permission to. And we are not giving you permission. Thank you.
Is Jason Rabinowitz, last call. Next is, let's see, Martin Brenner and Rich McGee.
Hi, I'm Martin Brenner. I'm with CSUEU Unit 9. Rocky is a rookie compared to me. I've been here 37 years. But I'm also on the collective bargaining team. And you can all relax for a minute. I'm not here to talk about money, but I am here to talk about accountability and good faith. One of the most important requirements of collective bargaining is operating in a good faith environment. Good faith requires a level of honesty and trust between the parties. I'm concerned that this environment between the CSU and the CSUEU, that's us, is fundamentally not present at this time. I submit to you that your team and your management has abused the spirit of the contract provisions that we have negotiated in good faith in the past. And you know I've spoken about this many times about temporary employees. But perhaps more concerning is a trend I'm seeing that this is a continuing process in our negotiations with the CSU team. As you know, we have meet and confers on various aspects. Specifically now, we are faced with negotiations for the implementation of technology whose stated purpose is in one case to ensure that parked vehicles have paid applicable fees. We don't have a problem with that. And in another, surveillance systems that are deployed ostensibly to increase campus security. I just spoke to you a few minutes ago about campus security. We are thoroughly behind campus security. But however, it has become abundantly clear in negotiations that your CSU team wishes to subvert these technologies into supervision, oversight, and discipline of employees. We don't want to work in an Orwellian gulag. Let me make this perfectly clear. We have not attempted to exempt employees engaged in criminal activity from being disciplined, terminated, or even prosecuted using deployed technology. But your CSU team has on multiple occasions flat out insisted that parking and security technology can be repurposed for employee supervision. I submit to you that perverting necessary technology advances towards creating an Orwellian working environment for CSU employees is not acting in good faith. It violates the basic, forthright, and honest environment that is required for the two parties to effectively work in concert toward an equitable end. Thank you.
Rich McGee, Chair, Bargaining Unit 9, and a proud and defiant classics major, CSU Seminole class of 1983. As William Shakespeare's Antonio said, something I learned in classics, Act 2, Scene 1, the past is prologue. There's a new bargaining spirit. There's a new bargaining team under the capable direction of Ms. Nazario. We look forward to working with you in a spirit of openness, not confrontation. As Chancellor White so succinctly put it yesterday, we're all on the same team. Please encourage your team to remember that when we hear fundamental financial lies at the table saying we can't do that, we can't fund that, we don't have the money for that. When the parking audit proved you have $1.5 billion in your misclassified reserve fund. Let's call it what the students call it, the Chancellor's Office Slush Fund. Thank you.
Thank you for all your comments. It's now time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda. Does any committee member wish to remove any of the items from the consent agenda? I don't hear anything, so may I have a motion to approve all the items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
A second? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Abstentions? Items listed on the consent agenda are approved. Chairman Day, this concludes the business of the Committee on Collective Bargaining.
Thank you, Trustee Fagan.